Hello everyone, how's it going? So back in August, I covered this along with a lot of other people that XDefiant was on borrowed time based on insider reports from Insider Gaming. They talked to people at Ubisoft who sent them anonymous reports that they're very worried about the future of this game. Now, this was a first-person shooter developed by Ubisoft featuring IPs from their IP catalog. This includes Watch Dogs, Splinter Cell, etc. And it was okay. I played the game, I 100%ed it, except for the friend request achievement. For some reason, that never popped for me. But yeah, it was okay. There was nothing really bad about it, but there was also nothing stand out of it. Like, it just kind of was there. And it did hit 1 million concurrent players, but the player count just dropped. Granted, we don't know the player account because it's not on Steam. But yeah, these reports stated that they were worried that this game was going to fail. The second Call of Duty Black Ops 6 came out, especially considering this is the first Call of Duty game coming out on Game Pass. And that was a massive success. Like, I was actually surprised. It's a really good game. The campaign was solid. The zombies mode was solid. Multiplayer was fun. And most of all, it worked. Like, despite being an always online game, I was expecting the game to be, like, constantly disconnected and all that stuff. It actually worked on day one. So they were right to be worried about that, not to mention it's Call of Duty. Even if everything went wrong with that launch window, it still was Call of Duty, and it was going to do stellar numbers no matter what. The only franchise I can think of that can even compete with Call of Duty within the same genre as Battlefield, and we saw how Battlefield 2042 launched. Either way, the developers of XDefiant came out and stated, no, we are planning for future content. The game is not on borrowed time. They came out with an entire blog post and everything with a roadmap. And yeah, well, that didn't turn out well. So it has been confirmed that it didn't even last a year, and XDefiant will be shutting down on June 2025. So yeah, not exactly a good state. Right now, Ubisoft is really going down the toilet. Skull and Bones launched to middling reviews. What else launched? Star Wars Outlaws was a huge failure. It barely broke 1 million sales for a Star Wars game. That's horrible. Granted, a lot of people said that the updated version of the game that just released was really good, but you know, the damage has already been done. A lot of people see Ubisoft as a company that releases their games broken and fix it later, which is just not going to fly anymore for people, especially with Ubisoft, considering that this year they have had flop after flop, and they had to delay Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is its own quagmire of just controversy with Yasuke, with the video that came out about the developer stating that this is their a lot sorry, that a lot of developers are working on Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's their first game, which is just like, why? Not to mention the trailers that came out that were full of glitches. But yeah, this is what the official XDefiant tweet stated. Dear players, important message. XDefiant is sunsetting. Thank you for the incredible support and dedication to XDefiant. We regret to inform you that we are initiating the sunset process starting today, December 3rd, 2024. As a result, new downloads, player registrations, and purchases will no longer be available. Season 3 will still launch, the servers will remain active, and the game will be fully playable until June 3rd, 2025. It didn't even last a full year, dear God. For those who purchased the Ultimate Founders Pack, you will receive a full refund. Players who made any purchases within the last 30 days will also be refunded. Please note that the process in these refunds will take up to 8 weeks. For more details, go to XDefiant and yada yada yada. Well, at least it lasted longer than Concord. We can say that, dear God. This may be a huge failure, but it's not a Concord failure, dear God. And, well, the news just gets even worse because Steven Totelo stated that Ubisoft may be laying up to 200 people. Like, oh my God. They'll be halving the XDefiant team. Ubisoft had hoped that it would compete with Call of Duty. I have no idea who thought that was even viable. Like, dear God, like I stated, the only franchise I can think of that can compete with Call of Duty is Battlefield. And even that's really rare because we saw how 2042 launched, and not to mention Call of Duty is a yearly franchise. So, yeah, I don't know where they got this mentality from. Like, it's ridiculous. But recently was denied shutdown rumors amid declined player numbers, and it's just getting worse and by worse. Like, dear freaking Christ. Like, this has been a bloodbath for the tech industry in general. Like, gaming industry has been nothing but... God, I don't even know what the hell is going on, but Yeah, let's see here from Insider Gaming. The news was mentioned in an internal all hands meeting today. The decision was made due to poor player numbers and lack of player spending, according to sources familiar with the decision to sunset the game. It's understood that layoffs will impact a significant number of employees at San Francisco studio and supporting studios, with some staff already receiving severance information. Another wave of layoffs will happen in February, with Ubisoft San Francisco and Osaka closing its doors. Around 170 to 180 people are understand to be losing their jobs. Dear God, it's like the holiday season and you just get this horrible news that, hey, you just lost your job. Dear God. Season 3 will be the entire season of XDefiant, where the skeleton crew maintain the title until June 2025. According to the familiar with the situation, Ubisoft will be updating XDefiant players on refunds for cosmetic items and other purchases for a later date. XDefiant started its uphill battle after the release of Season 1 with a lack of players spending, having the team scramble to cut costs. In August, I already stated all this stuff, but yeah, this is the statement that Mark Rubin made. Yeah, not good. But regardless, like, look, I feel like this game could have succeeded if they just kept it to their own sphere. If they had low expectations for this game, just to keep it its own thing and just update it regularly with a skeleton crew of maybe 50 people, maybe it could have been something. Release this on Steam as well. Like, don't keep this a Uplay exclusive. I don't know why they still do that now. Put it on every major platform and just say, let it go out, be its own thing, and see how it executes. Like, at this point, that's the only thing I can think of, because right now the live service market is so oversaturated with games like XDefiant that have been well established, have a huge audience already, who are not going to drop everything and come to your game. Even if they have fun with it, it's the idea that they already spend like hundreds of dollars on games like Apex Legends, Fortnite, Counter-Strike, whatever, you name it. They already spend hundreds, probably thousands of dollars on those games. They put so much time and effort into those titles, and learning how to play those games is already a full-time investment. Like, having to learn an entirely new meta, it's just out of the question. But these executives don't see that. Remember with Hyperscape, when it came to Ubisoft, they tried to get that Battle Royale pie, and even though that game launched with healthy numbers and people had fun with it, they just kept trying to push it to become the new Fortnite. Not everything needs to be Fortnite and Apex Legends and Call of Duty. Make your own thing, cultivate it, show that you have an interest in your community, and just keep going from there. You don't need to get the entire pie. Just go for what you know and try and build off that. But when you try to chase trends and try to just compete with your largest competitor, which is freaking Call of Duty. Call of Duty is $1 billion franchise. How do you think this is going to compete with that? But that's what I think about this entire situation. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Like, dislike, your choice. Goodbye.